Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Manoj, and if you are watching this video, this is after the introduction of the module called parenting. So, we are talking about the parenting module from Zealous Academy. And in this video, want to bring your attention to what are the three things as parents we are completely doing it wrong. Okay, there are things that we are doing completely wrong. We are all operating from a place of a script which is running in our head, which has been drilled down in our heads for multiple generations. And we don't even realize that this script is unconsciously running in us. And we actually end up parenting our kids by comparing them constantly with what others are doing with their kids. Okay, we are not even paying attention to what our kids are telling. We are not even listening to them. We are pretty much on a script running at our back, which is operating by itself. We are not even aware of it, that we end up sending kids to the school. We end up doing things with kids which we don't even know why we do it. Okay, so I want to share three things that we are completely doing it wrong, and I am guilty of it. I'm sure if you're a parent, you may notice that you have done the same. Okay, what are those three things? The number one thing that we are doing, we feel that kids is like almost a property of ours. So the first thing that we do wrong is we try to control them using anger as a mechanism. Yes, you may say that I never am angry with my kid, but I think kids are very, very smart. They can really sense when you do not approve of them. Okay, there are things that we communicate through our body language. There are things that we verbally say, and sometimes we are very physical with our kids to really control them. So the number one thing that we do is we try to control them by using anger as a mechanism. Okay, and based on what age group your children are. Okay, if they are in the age group of 0 to 5, the impact of anger is very different from when they are in the age group of maybe 6 to 10. And if they are anywhere between 11 to 17, then every time you try to impose something on them, that response to that anger will be very, very different. Okay, so I invite you to really look at, if you're actually dealing with young children, if they are in the age group of like under 5 years or 6 years of age, then they need to be really dealt very differently, because they do not understand what is upsetting you. If you're actually driving a car and they're sitting behind in the car and they're just constantly being noisy, it could be very annoying to you, and you could just actually attack them in a verbal way, which actually leaves a lasting impression in them. If they're actually messing up their house, let me just tell you my personal experience. My daughter, when she was around 5 years old or 6 years old, we were living in this house where the walls were completely made into a canvas. So she used to actually take different sorts of colors and watercolors. She used to take different sketch pens and actually color up all the walls. Okay, and my mother, used to get completely annoyed seeing this whole canvas of colors on the wall. And I felt that it is important that she really explores this, because this age of exploration will never come back again, right? We could always paint the wall, we could always change the house. Okay, but this season of her life where she actually wants to be somebody who's creative, somebody who wants to explore, if just imagine if we as parents had decided that what, you're not allowed to do anything on the wall, you're not allowed, you have to be confined within a notebook, within a given dimension, do you think the creativity of my daughter would have emerged? I don't think so. Okay, so I felt it was important that we let the child explore. If your children at the age of 5 to 6 or 7, they are exploring the world, they are actually seeing from a completely new lens. If they're exploring that, let them do that. Right, I'm inviting you to consider giving them some leeway. Maybe you have to define some boundaries. Okay, we will talk about that much later, but then do not control them with anger, because you are running a script in your head which says that that is not something that should be done. Because our parents sometimes have been really too harsh, or maybe they've been too discipline oriented, and we are trying to run the same script with our kids. Okay, so maybe the first thing that I invite you to consider is, do not try to control them using anger as a mechanism. The second one, which we have completely got it wrong, is We have a lot of unfulfilled dreams. Okay, and as we were growing up, there were things that we wanted to do. Maybe we wanted to go to a certain college, or maybe we wanted to pursue a certain course. Maybe we wanted to be more athletic. We wanted to probably learn swimming, or wanted to be somebody who's really good at maybe numbers. So sometimes when we could not fulfill something, we try imposing our expectation on our kids. And that's why we almost try putting our kids into different courses. We almost try selling them the idea that, you know what, you should actually aspire to get into that university. You almost, blackmail them with your motivations and with your incentives, trying to sell them an idea which is yours, not theirs. And mind you, there are things that, we are very smart as parents. We are very manipulative, and we try to showcase that it is in their best interest, which may not be the case, right? So don't try to put your expectations on your kids, because this sometimes backfires on us in the long term. Okay, so that's the second mistake that we do. And the third one, that is very very common in today's day and age, is helicopter parenting. And if that term is new to you, go ahead and google it. What is helicopter parenting? Helicopter parenting is the tendency of a parent to be overprotective. Okay, have we seen parents who are really very careful about where the kid goes, what the kid is doing? They're almost guarding the child all over the place. If the kid is out there in the open, in the garden, or in the park playing, then you're actually being very protective. Make sure that the kid is not getting hurt, or your children are not getting affected by anything around you. If the teacher actually questions the child, then you as a parent go and question the teacher. Why are you questioning my child? Now that approach to being super protective about your child, I think that is called helicopter parenting, and that really doesn't serve really well for the child long term. What happens here is you're actually creating a dependency of sort. When these kids grow up into an adult, when they turn 18, 19, they grow up with a sense of entitlement. They feel that everything belongs to them, and they can't really handle rejection. They can't really handle failure. And without failure, how can you learn? Look back at your own life. When you were growing up, did you have those facilities, or did you have those amenities and luxury that you are trying to give it to your kids right now? You did not. But how did you do? You did fairly well, right? And we as parents sometimes are guilty of giving that excess joy, and we think we need to really make it available to them. We need to make happiness as a priority for them. Intention is good, but I think the approach with which we are protecting the children, the approach with which we are making all these things, facilitating them, is not going to help them long term. Okay, so this is the three mistakes that we are doing. The number one mistake that we are doing is we are using anger as a mechanism. Okay, we need to relook at that. Number two, we are actually trying to impose our expectations on them. And number three, sometimes or most of the times we are helicopter parenting, which means we are overprotective. And in this day and age, things are much safer for the kids as compared to how it was before. Okay, there could be boundaries, there could be some confinement that we need to really arrive at as a family, as a parent. That's a different discussion. But generally, just inquire, are you somebody who is overprotective? Okay. So if we look at these three mistakes and we really evaluate how we are doing our things with our kids, I think we could be better parents. Okay. In my next video, we will speak about what are some of the philosophical mindsets that we need to adopt, which will make us a better parent. I'll see you next. Thank you.